In 2023, I experienced one of the most unnerving and scary nights of my life. I can't explain what happened. I never liked staying home alone, but after this night, I don't think I've ever stayed overnight anywhere alone since. At the time, my fiancé Ryan and I were looking to buy a house. Our lease had just expired, and we didn't want to renew for another whole year. One of my dad's oldest friends owned a house nearby that was available because the previous renters had both passed away. Since my dad was close to the owner, he agreed to let us stay there at a cheap rate and told us we could stay as long as we wanted. Basically, we were renting month to month in a nice home in a beautiful area of town. It took a lot of the stress out of house hunting. The only downside for me was that I wasn't thrilled about moving into a house. I didn't love the idea. It didn't bother Ryan at all. He was excited about the low rent. He's not someone who believes in bad energy. I definitely am. When we first moved in, he constantly mocked me for being afraid. He'd even imitate ghost sounds just to mess with me. Don't get me wrong, Ryan's a great guy. He's always joking around. Sometimes he just takes it too far. When we moved in, there was this awful tan carpet throughout the entire house. My dad's friend told us he already had someone scheduled to replace it with hardwood flooring because the carpet was stained and ugly. In the living room, there was one giant dark stain. On our first day there, Ryan asked where it came from. I wish he hadn't. The owner explained that the woman had fallen and hit her head on an end table. The stain was blood. They believed that accident ultimately led to her death. She went to the hospital that night and never came home. Then he told us her husband had died only a few weeks earlier from a heart attack in the basement. I was horrified. But sometimes you do what's most cost-effective. And this was it. We'd only been there 2 days when workers came to install the floors. I was thrilled when that carpet disappeared. The owner also had the house repainted. Those cosmetic changes made a huge difference. The house felt lighter, safer. He also installed one of those security systems that announces every door opening. Front door open. It got annoying quickly. Still, it made me feel better. A little over a month later, Ryan left for his bachelor party weekend. I was nervous about being alone, but by then the house finally felt like home, and I had our cattle dog Rex with me. That helped. Friday, July 7th. I left for work at 7 a.m. Ryan was leaving later that morning and wouldn't return until Sunday. That evening I ordered Thai food, my favorite, and something Ryan hated. I put on The Office and relaxed. Around midnight I started hearing strange noises coming from the basement. It was an older house. I kept telling myself it was just creaking. I turned off the TV and headed toward the bedroom. That's when Rex ran to the basement door and started barking. That wasn't normal. Rex was protective, but quiet. He usually howled. He rarely barked. But that night he barked non-stop. He sounded tense, like something was wrong. I tried calming him down, but he wouldn't stop. For some reason, I slowly opened the basement door and switched on the light. Immediately, Rex stopped barking. Then he started growling. I considered going downstairs to investigate. Then I remembered the old man had died down there. I know it sounds ridiculous, but that thought completely froze me. I couldn't even look down the stairs. I tried taking a photo of the basement from the top step, but it was too dark to see anything. Between my fear and Rex's reaction, there was no chance I was going down there. I shut the door. Eventually Rex calmed down and came into the bedroom, but he didn't sleep normally. He stayed at the foot of the bed, staring at the door all night. Like he was guarding something. That scared me more than the barking. I slept terribly. Saturday morning. The next morning I made coffee and planned to catch up on chores. I gathered my laundry and headed into the laundry room. Then I froze. The washing machine was sticking out from the wall by several feet. Not a little. This thing was nearly in the middle of the room. At first I ran out. I couldn't understand how it had moved. When I finally went back in, nothing else seemed out of place. I pushed it back against the wall. It wasn't easy. The machine was heavy. I felt like I should have heard it moving. I called Ryan and told him everything. He sounded skeptical but concerned. He believed there had to be an explanation. Maybe he was right. But I couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. Saturday night. Saturday evening felt similar to Friday. I got food, watched The Office, hung out with Rex. At exactly 9:18 p.m., I heard an incredibly loud noise outside. It sounded like an explosion. Then my phone alerted me to motion on the garage camera. I opened the recording. The garage door was open, which made no sense. We never used it. The footage showed flashes coming from the driveway. The camera made it look like fireworks. I opened the interior door leading into the garage. Then I looked outside. Nothing. No fireworks, no debris, no evidence anything had happened. It was bizarre. I saved the video and closed the garage door. Trying to sleep afterward wasn't easy. I couldn't tell whether I was afraid of something inside the house or someone outside it. I checked the alarm system 3 separate times. Just like the night before, Rex stood guard at the foot of the bed, occasionally growling. Eventually, I drifted off. 3:39 a.m. I woke up suddenly to pounding on the front door, not knocking, pounding. I checked the time. 3:39 a.m. I stayed frozen in bed. The banging continued. Finally, I got up. Just as I reached the bedroom door, I heard the security system announce, "Front door open." I immediately locked the bedroom door. I grabbed my phone to call the police. It wouldn't turn on. Every time I pressed the button, I got a black screen. That was when I started crying. Then I saw the doorknob, shaking. I screamed, "Go away!" Eventually I managed to call 911. and reported a break-in. Police arrived quickly. They searched the entire house. Nothing. No signs of forced entry. No stolen items. No evidence of foul play. The only unusual thing was that the front door was standing wide open. I showed them the garage footage. They guessed it was probably kids setting off fireworks. As for the front door, they blamed the wind. Sure, the wind somehow opened a deadbolt-locked door on a humid July night. Case closed. We remained in that house for a few more months. Nothing strange ever happened again. But before that weekend, I'd never experienced anything remotely unexplainable. And nothing like it has happened since. As I tell this story now, we're approaching the 3-year anniversary of that night. Whatever happened, I hope I never experience anything like it again.